What's going on, guys? This is Professor P coming from Carter Community College Barber Academy. Today, we will be going over Chapter 19. This is preparing for licensure and employment. This is Chapter 19 in the Milady's Gray Book, Edition 6. The chapter outline is the introduction, why prepare for licensure and employment, preparing for a license, preparing for employment, arranging for a job interview. This is a quick and short chapter. We only have 3 learning objectives for this chapter right here. How I usually go, we're just going to hit on the key points of this chapter. Strongly suggest you to go through the chapter and read up on it on your own time to have a greater understanding for it. The first thing we will be highlighting will be preparing for licensure. And the first thing is going to go all the way down right here to being test wise. This is for people that understand things about being taking the test and being successful. Is multiple ways to be educated and wise, but test wise for this chapter. Then we're going to jump down to preparing for the written exam. In the state of North Carolina, our written exam will be 110 questions. 10 of the questions are going to be about our rules and regulations. Also, with being test wise, it's going to help you prepare for the written part of the exam. You want to keep well organized notes, review past quiz and tests, organize handouts. Then we're going to jump down here. And this is the day of the test. Get plenty of rest, dress with comfort and professionalism. And if you can, go visit the testing site before you will take the test so you can be familiar what it looked like in the layout if they give you the opportunity. And I tell my students all the time, if you're going to take this test, go the night before so you can get a good rest in the hotel so you don't have to be driving all night. Then we're going to highlight that did you know box on test day. We're going to drop down to that third bullet point. We're going to highlight that, and we're going to highlight scan the entire test before beginning. That will help you see what some of the questions are going to be about. And you may have questions jump out to you. I'm like, oh, I can answer that right now. And you don't have to worry about that when you get in the thick of it. Because in North Carolina, you have 60 minutes to take the test. The next thing we're going to highlight is deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning, to put it in a nutshell, is problem solving, especially when it comes to multiple choice. You're going to mark out the ones that do not make any sense. Then you're going to be left with 2 choices. It's going to be any or meany. And most likely it's going to be mo. Then we're going to jump over to 711 right here on the third bullet point down, STEM. Highlight all of that. A STEM of the question is the meat of the question when it comes to multiple choice. Then we're going to highlight when answering easy questions. All right. Then true, false. This is talking about true and false questions. When you know the question is not going to be true, it's going to be all, none, always, or never. that means the question is going to be not true. Then we're going to go to multiple choice. We're going to drop down to the last two bullet points right there and highlight that. Now we over at 712 under barber laws. The main thing that sticks out to me, especially right here, is the basic concepts of state board barbering is the protection and healthy safety and welfare of the public that are getting barber services done, because in different states different rules apply, but the main purpose of the board is keeping the public safe. Then we're going to jump over to the next page, the practical tests. This is the hands-on portion. It's the haircut, the shave, infection control, probably even blow drying. We're going to highlight this right here. All right, we're going to do a big hyper jump to 716. We're going to highlight this activity for a week. Keep a record of the following things: of a positive attitude, teamwork, professional image, helping others, regular class, and clinic attendance. Then we're going to jump on to the top of the page, how to get the job you want. We're going to highlight motivation, all of that. And we're going to highlight integrity, the definition of integrity. Jump to the bottom of the page. A resume development, a resume. Highlight the first two complete sentences about a resume. Then we're going to just jump over to the next page, and we're going to highlight these bullet points and right in the meat of this paragraph right here. Then we're going to be at 719, employment portfolio. A portfolio could be a digital or a online portfolio of your work. Your work could be of haircut services that you have performed in school or outside of school, before and after pictures. It will be a great representation of what kind of work you can provide for others. It's great to have a portfolio. Most of the time, people portfolios nowadays are just their Instagram and TikTok feeds. So if that's how you want to do it as your Instagram and TikTok as a portfolio, do that. Now we are going to be at 726. We're going to do interview wardrobe. This is the clothing section of how you're going to dress. You need to highlight all of this right here about the do's and the don'ts of what you should wear and not wear. This section right here is going to talk about dress to impress. When you go for an interview, when you go into these barbershops, don't pull up in sweatpants and Crocs or something like that. Have a nice collar shirt on, some slacks, some clean jeans. Nothing like you just came off the basketball court or anything like that. And it's also going to say have 2 interview outfits. So if you get one interview and they want to call you back for another interview, you can mix and match your outfits. You're not wearing the same thing. We're on 728. Got to highlight never criticize former employers. That's not a good look on your behalf at all. Jumping over to the next page, we're going to highlight legal questions in your did you know box. Are you 18? Are you a legal citizen? Can you work? And we're going to jump down to employment contract. And it's going to usually talk about in most barbershops, the only contract you're going to highlight is a non-compete, meaning if you work in my shop, you can't go across the street and open up business because you've been with me this whole time. 7:30, highlight this, then doing it right, highlight this right here. And that is chapter 19.